Hey everybody, how's it going? I am here in beautiful Massachusetts. I have made it a goal to visit every repair shop in the state and try to organize people for a lobbying day in November. And one thing that I used to be cynical about is that visiting politicians would actually help. And apparently it does. Because when I visited one, they actually co-sponsored legislation. Another thing that I used to be cynical on was that anybody would actually show up to any of these bills. And I tell people not to be cynical. Yet here I am being cynical and saying it'll be impossible to get anybody to show up. So I am driving to each and every repair shop in the state to see how many I can get signed up. And we'll see. Maybe I'll be successful, maybe I'll fail. But if I fail, at the very least I'll be able to say that I tried. So I'm just taking a little bit of a walk before I go to bed. Since I have insomnia, it's hard for me to fall asleep. And I wanted to discuss the recent video that I did on homelessness. There's been a lot of comments in that video. I wanted to discuss two things. A, my frustration with some of the comments on it, and B, my frustration with YouTube as a platform. So one of the most common comments on the video was, I hate people that complain about a problem and don't propose a solution. The people that complain about X problem or homelessness without proposing any sort of solution can go F themselves. I honestly agree with you. I really don't like people that will talk about a problem or complain about a problem without proposing a solution. When it comes to right to repair, I'll show a problem, but I'll also show the world how to do everything that I do so that they're armed with the knowledge on how to fix things and how to do it properly. And a lot of the comments in that video were saying, well, Lewis, does this guy have a better solution? Well, he doesn't have a solution. He's making this up. Honestly, I get you. I don't like those people either. What actually does bother me is this. I did a video about 2 months ago. It was about 21 minutes long. Lots of citations. I actually spoke to one of my local politicians about 146C, which is an interesting piece of legislation to try and help on this issue. Did a lot of research. The TLDR of it is that we spend about $3,500 to $4,000 per month per homeless person for a place with conditions, and I'll just leave a link down below. You can look at it. This is a place I wouldn't even leave Oreo the cat in overnight if you paid me for it. Just horrible, horrible, horrible conditions. And the nonprofit that runs it has a 10-year history of paying the directors, $300 to $500K a year. It's made the news before that they get like $500K a year. And they offer what I find to be a horrific place for anybody to stay. And this nonprofit just so happened to have been founded by the governor and still manages to get campaign contributions to the governor. It's an incestuous, disgusting mess. And there's a piece of legislation, 146C, that I proposed at the end of the video. Now, is this a perfect piece of legislation? Probably not. Is it going to fix the problem overnight? Probably not. Is it better than spending $3,500 to $4,000 per month per homeless people to be in a room that looks worse than a prison cell, more crowded than a prison, that has no social services? Yeah, you probably can't go down further than that. It's kind of like if someone's in a relationship where they're not loved and they get beaten and punched in the face and abused every single day. Being single sucks, but it's probably better than where you are. And I proposed in that video that if you're on the left, you probably think, wow, we should be doing more to help people that are distressed or impoverished. And if you're on the right, you're probably thinking, gee, I spend $3,500 to $4,500 a month on a corrupt program, on a corrupt system. This new piece of legislation is proposing that we spend half the amount of money that we're spending right now, 50% as much, and it is much better because we're rooting out a cause of the corruption. That's a pretty good start. And one of the frustrations that I have with YouTube is this. The videos that I do that are trash are always promoted more than the videos that actually took effort. So for instance, I posted a video today of a really deep dive board repair in A170882000840 that was having an issue with a CPU buck converter, and I posted some content on how to tell how to do this type of repair in a manner that is not going to kill the CPU, because many people will get this board with this problem and they'll try to repair the buck converter in a manner that will kill the CPU. I want to show you could preserve the CPU so you could preserve your machine if it's yours, and if it's for your customer, how you could preserve your money by not destroying the customer's board and being able to fix it for them and make some money. That content did worse than a video of me literally in front of an empty store shitposting. And the video that I did that was a deep dive into this homeless issue, a good 21 minutes, detailing the problem, listing citations, citing my work, researching my work, showing you the compensation for the 990s, reading the proposed 146C legislation as it exists and how it would be better. No one viewed that video. No one gave a shit. I'll link it down below. A video that I do while I'm literally walking on my way to a parking garage to get a car so that I could travel to Massachusetts for the day, a throwaway video, a shitpost. Look at this stupid grate that we have. Look at this city. That gets 500,000 views inside of 12 hours. The video, that's an actual deep dive. That actually really explains the problem, explains the solution, cites why this would make sense as a solution, is so buried that most people in the comments are saying, why is this idiot complaining about a problem without proposing a solution? The actual solution to the problem, nobody ever saw in their feed. Just not there. So here's what I would suggest. I'm going to leave a lot of links down below. It'll be a link to a thread where many people were saying, why? Why are you talking about this if you don't have a solution? And I'll also include all of the citations to why the current system sucks and how much we spend in the current system and what the current system looks like and how the new system would work. Here's what I would ask. Don't watch the earlier video that I did. If you dislike me, if you dislike my personality, if you dislike my content, if you dislike the way I come off, I completely respect that. Read the stuff down below and just what do you think after? If you just remove me from it, if you remove the polarizing figure on the screen that you dislike from it, what do you think of what's proposed down below? What do you think of this idea? And do you think that the current system as it stands is a good way to spend money? Because I'll be honest with you, I read a lot of the comments that were saying things like, you can't just fix the homeless problem. There's a lot of people out there that just don't want treatment. There's just nothing you can do. There's some people that are just bums or too mentally ill. There are some people that just don't want to get better. And I'll be honest with you, I kind of used to think the same way in many regards. And in some ways, with some of the experiences that I've had, I still do. Again, I'm personally biased. In 2011, I actually tried hiring some of the people for just a couple of hours to help me pack. There was one of those places that helps the homeless right next to my old office, and one of my employees wasn't able to show up. I was tired. I wanted to go home early, so I offered one of the people next door like $50 or $100 plus some food. Just help me pack boxes for a few hours. Every time I've done that, something went missing or stuff got stolen, and I've had people homeless people just throw stuff at me when I've offered them food before. So I understand your anger and your aggravation, and I understand where you're coming from. At the same time, when I see the work or the sheer waste of money, it's not even, I'll be honest with you, I do want to have compassion for people who are doing worse than me. It's not even the feeling of compassion for people that are doing worse than me that motivates it so much as the desire to see people who get paid $300,000 to $500,000 a year to run what is, in my opinion, a scam nonprofit, get their just desserts. That makes me want to see the system change. Even if you don't have compassion for the homeless, wouldn't you prefer that your tax dollars not be spent on a scam? On a scam that is enriching people to the tune of $20,000 to $40,000 a month to run a homeless shelter that, in my opinion, is a scam. And also, you may say, well, this is just a New York problem. This nonprofit operates in areas outside of New York. Even outside of this one nonprofit, there is an entire homeless industrial complex that exists out there where you have these nonprofits that pretend to help, that solicit donations, that have a pretty website with some fancy pictures that they took at some photo shoot, that really are, in my opinion, a way for the directors to collect, $300,000 to $500,000 a year without actually helping anybody. It's my desire to just not see that type of scam continue. If you're gonna take my tax dollars, can you at the very least do something useful with it? So even if you're not coming at it from the standpoint of like true compassion for people that are in a crappier position than you, consider coming at it from the standpoint of, hey, can you stop wasting my money so that somebody else can get a passive income of 6 figures a year to screw people? So just take a look at some of the links down below. And again, you tell me what you think. I don't want to tell you what to think. I don't want to tell you what to do. I don't want to tell you how to feel. Just take a look at it and let me know. And yeah, I really don't know if it's a feature of YouTube, the platform, or of the users of the platform. It's difficult for me to say if it's one, the other, or both. But this is something that's kind of been a recurring theme, where essentially the content on this channel that is like a deep dive, whether it's a technical deep dive or a news deep dive or something that I feel is really, really important, gets nowhere. And content that is literally throwaway content winds up being plastered everywhere. Like, most of what I post to this channel has a 1 to 2% engagement rate, meaning 1 to 2% of the overall subscribers watch it, which is why I focus on my day job rather than, quote, do YouTube professionally. But it's really weird how the absolute garbage throwaway content winds up getting plastered everywhere. And I have people that say, I didn't even know I was still subscribed to you and I just saw this in my feed, kind of stuff. Shows up getting 500,000 in less than 12 hours. So take a look, again, for people who say that, you know, why are you complaining about this if you don't have a solution? I posted a solution. It's in the description down below. Posted it about 2 months ago. It got less than 50,000 views, but such is life. I am going to go use the weight room because I have a hotel that has a 24-hour weight room. And they actually have dumbbells that go up to 80 pounds, which is really cool. You never, ever see a hotel that has dumbbells that go up to 80 pounds. So that's crazy. So I am going to make use of some of that. Then I am going to get some sleep. I actually said I was going to go straight to sleep, but I kind of still have insomnia. So I will see you all later. I hope to meet with some more of these repair shops in Massachusetts. I am really excited in November to be able to put together a lobbying day where it's not just one of those things where I'm the only person that shows up and the state legislatures go, well, only one person showed up from our state. I'll be honest, that started to make me cynical. But I tell you guys not to be cynical. I tell you guys to engage. And who am I if I don't follow the advice I gave you? I kind of caught myself following the advice I gave you, so I'm gonna try putting my time where my mouth is and following it. If it goes well in this state, then what I'd like to do is I'd like to do a countrywide tour. I think it would be actually fun to make the goal of having one of these in every state. Maybe do a countrywide tour of every repair shop in the country. See if I can get some more engagement from it all. And yeah, it'll be exciting. So I'll talk to you later. That's it for today. And as always, I hope you learned something. See you all in the next video. Bye now.